Yo, what's up, guys? So, finally made it to Friday. Wow. Kind of a weird week with no labor data, but whatever. It's just 1 month of information. It's not going to materially change things anyway. But look, if you've ever heard me talk, you might think that I give Dave Ramsey a bit of a hard time. And quite frankly, I don't think it's anywhere near enough because, well, number one, he's a Nashville guy. He gives this place a really bad rap, and that's unfortunate. But number two, everything that he says is either misrepresented, highly misrepresented, or it's just objectively false. Like this idea that there is a housing shortage, which he can never seem right to define, much less quantify. I've done it. I've shown it here locally, nationally, other markets. I've even shown why that's even the case in the Northeast, where there's just local dynamics, temporarily suppressing listings for sale, even in those markets. And a lot of that has to do with relatively lower mobility, this cost of living arbitrage. They just build relatively less. And that basically creates bottlenecks in something like listings for sale as a proxy for supply, just, artificially lower for now. But back to Dave, okay. Nashville is a relatively younger population, and by extension, that flavor flows through the demographic data, the household facing data. So when you start looking at home ownership by age, with and without a mortgage, what you're going to see is that just a younger population is probably going to just have more, mortgaged households. And we're not talking about unpaid ballots or anything like that. But if you're younger, you're just much more likely to finance the purchase of your home. You've had less time to accumulate assets. You're not going to just maybe sell your home and then pay all cash for the next one. We've had a lot of the stuff that you see in terms of originations. It's very high LTV anyway. So what I'm basically describing is a predator. DTIs have not materially improved. We're getting people into homes that they simply really cannot afford, right? In the face of a softening labor market with a ton of structural supply where these folks are going to be underwater, very shortly. Inventory for sales mooning all over the place. And yet he is still talking about a housing shortage. So you may say that it's disgruntled in terms of, my position when it comes to Dave. Quite the opposite. He's a liar. He's a fraud is what he is. I take issue with that. And I want the best for our youth.